No one wants war. By remembering is a way of saying we don't want it. We're remembering dead, not alive people. We're remembering dead. And it's important that we remember this. We can go on, get peace, because this world needs peace. My name is Keith. I served with the Parachute Regiment in the 60s. My number was 240-8863. My brother was in the RAF and he came home on leave and he was engaged to his wife, Christine. And a paratrooper was invited. And what he had on was the wings, what you can see there. He had them on his lapel, and we kept calling him Batman, and he didn't like it. So then he challenged us. There was 4 of us. He said, if you had any bottle, why don't you join the Parachute Regiment? So we did. Training was very, very hard. It was very, very rewarding when you passed. To get the Red Beret was the ultimate. And then I went on to RAF Abingdon to be taught how to jump out of an aircraft. During that time I had 2 malfunctions. I survived them both. One was quite dramatic. The first malfunction was, I got in what's known as into twist. I kicked out a twist, and by the time I got down there my chute was shot apart and I hadn't pulled my reserve. I was told off for not pulling my reserve. He came up to me and said, Gilbody, you're a danger to everyone else, that's why you're at the back. And he really ripped into me, took me to one side and ripped into me, and told me that I would never make a paratrooper as long as I lived. Something similar to those words. But it was one of which I felt quite ashamed, really. And I felt really determined to get it right. I thought, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I did. On the second malfunction, it was totally different. I came out of the aircraft and that's when I got the malfunction. Apparently, from the boys on the ground told us that we dropped about 250 feet straight down before they actually deployed again. And when I landed on the ground, and we kind of hit the ground rather hard, the squadron leader came onto the bus and asked, who was that soldier who had the malfunction? And I put my hand up and said, it was I, sir. Very well done, soldier, very well done. I felt quite proud. So finally, they got through to me. And I thought to myself, hold on, you wanted to put me against the wall yesterday and shoot me. I shouldn't laugh, it's serious. In the First World War, my grandfather was the only man to be killed on the 5th of December 1915 in Flanders, in Ypres. His body's still out in Flanders fields along with 55,000 other soldiers. Still in Flanders fields now. The bodies have never been found. And then 20 or so years later, my father was on the beaches of Dunkirk when he was being evacuated in 1940. And he was in the water for nearly 7 hours, and he could see the bombing going on in the beach where they were just dropping bombs on people who had nowhere to hide. And the ship went down and heard the screaming. It wasn't screaming over 5 minutes, it was screaming over 1 or 2 hours until it all went quiet. The reason why I march and remember is the very fact that I have the greatest of respect for what people have done before, for me and for everyone else who's around. It's a time we think of the suffering, and the suffering now. And when we do the last post and we have the 2-minute silence, and I look at the cross of sacrifice, which is where all the names of Poynton were lost during the First and Second World War. You look at the cross of sacrifice and you say, Jesus knows what we've gone through. So lest we forget. What changed me, I suppose, in my life was becoming a Christian. Just over 30 years ago, I became a Christian at PBC, and it changed my life. It changed the way I lived. It changed everything. And there's so many things to be thankful for through becoming a Christian. The very first time I went into Poynton Church, it was a baptism. The biggest atheist on earth at the time, I think. Walking into this church which was crowded. Half an hour later, something happened. I don't know what it was, but something happened which made me realise I needed to change. And it was because I'd become a Christian. From that day, my life has changed dramatically. Being and believing is a hope that more people will believe. The more people that believe, the more peace we'll get. And that is in my eyes, and that's what I truly believe. The more peace we'll get if more people come to Jesus. I'm proud to wear a red beret, and I'm very proud to be a Christian. It's a situation what we have, what's gone on in the past, must never be forgotten. We cannot forget these people. It's not just about family, it's about everything. It's about what's going on in the world today, and I think that draws people even closer. They shall grow not old, as we are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget.